Well, hey guys, we're in Baldwin, Mississippi today to see what we can find out about legendary Mississippi State basketball coach James Babe McCarthy. Babe was born on October the 1st, 1923, right here in Baldwin. He was a basketball coach at both the professional and collegiate levels during his career. But let's back up just a touch. After high school, he attended Mississippi State University, where he was a Sigma Pi. He did not play college basketball, but he did serve in the Air Force and then began coaching high school basketball in 1947. He won a high school state championship in 1948. He was recalled to the Air Force for the Korean War and coached the Air Force team in Memphis. After he got out of the Air Force, he officiated SEC games before becoming the Mississippi State coach in 1955. In his 10 years at Mississippi State, his teams won 169 games and lost 85. His teams won the Southeastern Conference 4 times, 3 outright, and 1 time shared. He was named SEC Coach of the Year 3 times while at Mississippi State. When he left Mississippi State, he was the school's all-time leader in wins. Babe may be best remembered for his team breaking the color barrier of the 1960s. In a time when teams typically played no more than maybe 2 African Americans at a time, Loyola had 4 black starters. Mississippi State and Loyola were about to meet in what has since been called the Game of Change, which took place on March the 15th, 1963. It was the second round of the NCAA basketball tournament and considered a milestone in collegiate basketball. Loyola had finished the season 24-2. Mississippi State came into the tournament with their 4th SEC championship in 5 years. But it was sort of an unwritten law that Mississippi teams would never play against black players. Mississippi State had never before participated in the NCAA tournament. When the university president announced that he would send the team to the tournament, several state officials tried to keep the team inside the state of Mississippi. The Bulldogs made a plan involving decoy players, and they avoided being served an injunction as they took a charter plane to Michigan the day before the game. Loyola had beat Tennessee Tech by 69 points in its first round game, and Mississippi State had received a first round bye. Loyola won the game 61-51 and would ultimately win the entire NCAA tournament. Even though the Bulldogs were not victorious, at least they got to compete. McCarthy's repeated success with his Bulldogs helped break this barrier. Kentucky took the Bulldogs spot in 1962, and McCarthy was quoted as saying, "I think the boys should be allowed to play against integrated teams away from home." Before the 62-63 season, McCarthy committed to do everything he could to make a tournament appearance happen that season. On February 25, 1963, the Bulldogs secured a tournament invitation with a win over Tulane, and that night hundreds of students gathered outside the president's home chanting, "We want to go." Over the next 2 days, Mississippi State's Student Senate voted unanimously to recommend that the Bulldogs accept the tournament invitation and gather 2,000 student signatures on a resolution to that effect. The decision was ultimately the president's, who was being bombarded with calls and letters and telegrams from people all over the state. There are 389 letters in Mississippi State's archives, and 333 were in favor of the team going to the tournament. For some reason, in 61 and 62, the issue of the team going to the tournament never made it as far as the university president, and Culver didn't feel that he really had the clout to buck Governor Ross Barnett. On March the 2nd, Culver issued a statement announcing that he would send the team to the tournament unless he was hindered by a competent authority. When what was then the College Board met several days later in Jackson, protesters on both sides of the debate were present outside the building. The board voted 8-3 in support of the tournament decision and 9-2 in expressing confidence in Culver's leadership. On the morning of March 14th, the day before the game, the team sent the trainer, Dutch Luxinger, and 5 reserve players to the Starkville airport at 8 a.m. as decoys. Had they been stopped by some authorities while trying to board, the rest of the team would have taken a private plane to Nashville and flown commercially to Michigan. Local papers reported that a deputy sheriff had gone to the airport to serve an injunction, but left after learning the plane had not yet arrived due to delays in Atlanta. Others said he simply arrived too late because he stopped to finish his coffee first. One local historian describes the deputy as the deputy sheriff who tried to do his duty, but not too hard. Facing no obstruction, their plane took off at 9:44 a.m. The game was played without incident, and Mississippi State even jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Ultimately, the Bulldogs lost the game 61-51. Mississippi State won the consolation game against Bowling Green the next day and returned to Starkville as the third-place team from the Mideast region. Coach Babe McCarthy was an outstanding basketball coach who held his team together and helped them navigate a turbulent time. He coached in the ABA from 67 to 74 and had about a 500 record. While being most notably known for his role in the Game for Change, he was also known for his quotes called Babeisms. One of my favorites being, "My old pappy used to tell me the sun don't shine on the same dog's butt every day." Or maybe, "Let's cloud up and rain all over them." Babe McCarthy died on March 18, 1975, of cancer right here in Baldwin, Mississippi. It was just a few hours after he was inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Babe McCarthy today. Thank you.